The very first rule of boundaries, that's what we're going to talk about today. How to make sure that people are treating you well, and if they are not, what you can do to turn things around and create a life that is full of relationships based on healthy trust and respect. You teach people how to treat you. You are constantly showing people how you want to be treated, whether you think so or not. The idea that everyone treats everyone equally is just not true. Now, this can come from a good place or a bad place, and the reason I say it can come from a good place is that people are used to mirroring other people because they want them to be comfortable, and good people don't want to overstep the boundaries of other people. And I do this all the time. If I can tell you are more shy and reserved type of person, I am not going to blast you in a conversation with full-on energetic positivity. I am going to tone it down a bit in an attempt to make sure that I am not making you uncomfortable. This is simply part of having a healthy social barometer. However, when it comes from a bad place, this is when unstable people see how far they can push your boundaries in an unhealthy way. And a lot of the times, these people don't even realize it's unhealthy. And we'll cover this dynamic more at the end of the video. Let's get the fundamentals out of the way first. In either case, the process is essentially the same for you. On the good side of the spectrum, you have to show people how you want to be treated. On the bad side of the spectrum, you will receive what you are willing to tolerate. Now, how you carry yourself plays a very large part in what we are talking about. On the wholesome side of the idea, you can think about how you would like to be treated and practice changing your character just a bit so you receive the kind of attention that you would like. If you want people to start taking you more seriously, start working on your communication skills. Learn to pause and think before you reply. If you want people to respond in a fun and exciting way when they see you, start practicing how to build your social energy during interactions. If you feel like you are not being seen or heard, you need to start teaching yourself how to do things like participate and interject in conversations, or even start with simple things like how to introduce yourself well. A lot of these things are very simple once you start to ask questions. Questions like, what kind of energy do I want to attract? And what kind of energy do I want to put out into the world? It is okay to ask these types of questions, then start practicing some simple changes. It is okay to look at yourself and evaluate your character, especially if you think something in your life is lacking. And if you're brave enough to ask questions, start watching videos and reading books to get ideas on how you can improve a little bit. It is okay to practice saying hello. It is okay to learn how to communicate better. Any little thing you can do will move you towards being treated the way you would like to be treated. And everyone has a different idea about how they would like to be treated, and that is okay too. Now let's talk about making sure you are not being treated poorly. Sometimes you have to be forceful, but most of the times it is more about simply not staying in friendships or relationships that don't align with your values. We all see the red flags when they come up. You have to adopt a no-tolerance policy for poor behavior. If you are not used to asserting yourself, you have to mentally prepare to, at the very least, walk away from people who overstep your boundaries in an unhealthy way. And you are the one that gets to decide what those boundaries are. You're the one that gets to be in control. I usually side with my intuition. If it makes me feel uncomfortable in any type of negative way, I remove myself from the situation. Now, this whole idea can be tough with friendships or relationships you've had for an amount of time, but it is okay to decide that you are not comfortable with someone else's behavior. This is when tough decisions might have to be made. This is when you need to start learning how to assert yourself, learning to use non-reactive silence in the face of being treated poorly, along with learning how to say you are not comfortable with this situation. The longer you have tolerated the red flags, the more difficult it is going to be to get away from it. I am here to tell you that it is okay to do a 180 and abruptly switch your stance and attitude. Oftentimes, when you truly decide to make this switch, people sense it and things start to change for the better. But if they don't, you have to remove yourself from the situation entirely, no matter the cost, or you will live with it forever. Do not tolerate anyone treating you poorly. Once you adopt this attitude internally, all of your new relationships will get better and better, and hopefully some of the old ones too. And always remember, it only takes one day to turn everything around.